Welcome back, kindergarten friends. This is Miss Kim. Yesterday, you read the story Apple Trees and practiced finding the main topic of the story. Today, you're going to listen to the song We Depend on Trees and try to find the main topic and author's opinions. Main topic is what the story is mostly about. An author's opinion is what they think about the main topic, what the author thinks about the main topic. It is important to know these two things because when you can find the main topic and find the author's opinion about the main topic, you can understand the story really well. Now, before you start your lesson, I'm going to read you another story called Birds and Trees, and we will practice together how to find the main topic and the author's opinion about the main topic. Are you ready? Let's start. This is the book that we're going to use to practice finding the main topic and author's opinion. The title of our book is called Birds and Trees. It is written by Emily C. Dawson. Emily C. Dawson is our author who wrote this book. This book is about how birds and trees depend on each other. What does the word depend mean? Depend means to need something to live or be happy. So this book will show us how birds and trees need each other. Can you say the word depend? Say depend. Very good. Now, there are a few more words that we need to know before we start reading the book. Let's look at those words. This is a picture glossary at the end of our book. Glossary has words that are important in our text. This picture glossary has 6 vocabulary words that will help you understand the story. First word is bill. Bill is the horny, hard parts of a bird's mouth. So if you look, the shiny mouth of the bird is called bill. Next word is caterpillar. Caterpillar is a larva that changes into a butterfly or a moth. Usually caterpillars are long and tiny. Next word is fig. Fig is a small, sweet fruit with tiny seeds. Next word is grub. Grub is the young form of some bugs that looks like a short white worm. This bird has a grub in its bill. Next word is hollow. Hollow means having empty space. This tree has a hollow space where the bird can live. Last word is nest. Nest is a place built by birds to lay their eggs. If you look in the picture, the bird built a nest with twigs and leaves. Birds and Trees by Emily C. Dawson. Birds all around the world need trees. Pied cormorants live in Australia. They build their nests in trees. The red-headed weaver lives in Africa. It builds its nest in trees too. It weaves grass and twigs into a covered nest. The cockatoo lives in Australia. It rests in a hollow tree for shade from the hot sun. Birds need trees for food. Eastern bluebirds live in North America. They eat grubs and insects they find in trees. The woodpecker lives in North America. It pecks trees with its bill to find insects to eat. Birds help trees too. The pale white-eye lives in Africa. It eats fig seeds. New fig trees grow where the seeds drop. Some bugs harm trees. They eat the leaves. Birds eat caterpillars that can harm trees. Birds and trees need each other. What would happen to trees if there were no birds? What would happen to birds if there were no trees? Did you enjoy the story? Now, we are going to look for the main topic of our book, Birds and Trees. Before we even start reading the book, we can find a hint about the topic by looking at the title. The title of our story is Birds and Trees. So our book will probably be about birds and trees. But we are not sure yet. So we're going to look and make sure that this is our main topic. Now, I'm on my first page of the text, and what I'm going to look for are the words that repeat. That means that words I keep seeing again and again. So look, birds all around the world need trees. Pied cormorants live in Australia. They build nests in trees. You see what I am reading? I see trees.
Tree.
I also see trees. Those are two words that repeat. Trees, trees. It must be an important word in our book. The red-headed weaver lives in Africa. It builds its nest in trees too. It weaves grass and twigs into a covered nest. I see the word tree again in this page. And you know what I notice? There is not only a picture of the tree, but there's also a picture of a bird. And this bird's name is red-headed weaver. I remember the page before also had picture of many birds. And the word birds started our text. So I saw the word birds and trees again and again. And I also saw pictures of birds and trees. Maybe it's just a couple of pages in the front. I'm going to keep looking to make sure this is an important topic in our book. The cockatoo lives in Australia. It rests in a hollow tree for shade from the hot sun. Here it is again, the word tree. But also I see another bird. This bird's name is cockatoo. Wow. So do you see the pattern? We saw from the title that this book is called Birds and Trees. And every page that we look, there's a picture and the words that show different types of birds and different types of trees and how they help each other. Now, looking at these clues and reading the book, I know that my book is all about birds and trees. So I know the main topic is birds and trees. Now, I'm going to think and look for what the author thinks about birds and trees because we want to know the author's opinion. Usually, to find author's opinion, I can look at the very first page. Not always, but many times, author begins with what they think about, what they think is important about the topic. So the very first sentence right here will give us clues about what the author thinks about the topic. Now I will read what it says right here. Birds all around the world need trees. What does the author think about the trees and the birds? The author thinks birds around the world need trees. You know where else I can find what the author thinks about the topic? I can also go to the end of the book because usually the author ends the book with conclusion. That means the author goes over everything the author talks about in the book and then give you what she or he thinks about the topic and gives you a short summary. So I'm going to the very end of my book. I'm at the end. It says, birds and trees need each other. You see how this kind of matches the first sentence of our book? The first sentence of our book says, birds around the world need trees. At the end of the book, the author ends the story with the sentence, birds and trees need each other. So we know that throughout the book, that author wrote how birds and trees need each other. Do you remember in the beginning of our lesson, I told you that this book will be about how birds and trees depend on one another? And depend on is another way to say they need each other to live. So we know birds and trees, they need each other. And that's author's opinion. Author shows that that is the main topic, that is what the book is all about, by giving us examples of how different kinds of bird needs trees and how birds help trees in different ways. For example, I know that birds need trees for food. On page 10, it says eastern bluebirds live in North America and they eat grubs and insects they find in trees. This is one way that birds need trees. I go to page 16, and this page tells me about how birds help trees, how trees need birds. It says birds eat caterpillars that can harm trees. So these are little details that help support the main idea, which is what the author thinks and about the topic, the opinion of the author, and what the book is all about. Let's review. To find the main topic or idea, first, look at the title. The title will give you clues to what the book is all about. Second, look for repeated words and pictures, or words and pictures that show up again and again. They will also give you clues to what the book is mostly about. 3. Answer the question, what is this book all about? If you can answer the question, that answer will tell you what the main topic or idea is in the book. To find author's opinion, first, look at the beginning of your text. Many times, author begins their story or their book with what they think about the topic. Second, look at the end of your text. Many times, author ends the book or story or their text by summarizing the most important ideas that they had about the book. Number 3, answer the question. What does the author think about the main topic? Now that we have reviewed what we learned, you're going to practice on your own with the song, We Depend on Trees. You're going to first find the main topic. What is the song all about? 2, find the author's opinion. What does the author think about the main topic? Now, let's start our lesson.
Hello, kindergarten. Your learning target for today is I can identify the main topic of a text. Now you read it with me. I can identify the main topic of a text. Today, you will think and talk about the main topic of a text and the author's opinion of trees. You will also draw and label a picture showing how one animal depends on trees. You will need the text We Depend on Trees, page 3 of your journal, and a pencil. We depend on trees. We depend on trees. We depend on trees. We eat fruits and nuts and chocolates. We depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. They munch on leaves just as they please. Caterpillars depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. They feed on bark in day or dark. Deer depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. They scarf down seeds and nuts with ease. Squirrels depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. They fly in line to eat and dine. Birds depend on trees. Now that we've read the text, let's think about it. What is the main topic of the text? What is the author's opinion about trees? Pause and think about this. Now let's talk about it. What is the main topic of the text? What is the author's opinion about trees? With a family member or friend, talk about this. Now let's write about it. Draw and label a picture showing how one animal depends on trees.